Hey, my coding family, how's everybody doing? Good to see you guys. Let me know if you can hear me. Every time I try to start a class, some drama happens. Today, my mom's car broke in our garage. I can't get it to start, so we just put a new battery in it like 6 months ago, so I'm not sure what's going on, but it's acting just like a battery's gone down. But sorry about being just a hair late. I was setting up an appointment with somebody to try to get it fixed. How's everybody's, what day of the week is this? This Thursday? How's everybody's Thursday doing? Let me check chat. Let's see. Is it going good? Hey, Mabel. Hey, Go-Kart. Hey, April. Thanks, Go-Kart. Hey, Andrea. Hey, Valerie. Hey, Samantha. Hey, McNair. Good to see you guys. Hello, I'm Tiki Talk. How's everybody doing? Good to see you guys. Thank you for the shares. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for all the emails. I've been trying to get back to everybody and get to them, but I'm epically failing, of course. But I'm trying. I did reply to some today. Working on it. Might be the alternator. It might. It's just the car's only got 68,000 miles on it, and it sits in an air-conditioned garage. It's not like it's used a whole bunch, but it is a 2018. We've had it forever. You know, we just don't go very much. You know, we don't travel. We've had it for many years. I think I got it in like December of 2018, so it was that last month of the year. So it is like 6 years old. I don't have it, almost got it paid off. But it only has 68,000 miles on it. So yeah, but it sits in air conditioning. So it's like, you know, you're babied. There shouldn't be anything going wrong on it. But it is 6 years old. So how's everybody doing? Hey, Taylor, good to see you. Everybody ready to do some? Yes, I am on YouTube today. Yes, yes, yes. It should be streaming live on YouTube. Also, we've got 18 people on right now and 5 likes on YouTube. So we should be streaming good on YouTube. We should be all right. Off just a little bit. Looks a bit big, a bit large. Any questions today before we get started? Oh, I got a ton of emails up. Yeah, I want to leave there. What is here? I'm just going to show you guys some of the features, maybe. Let's see. I don't know if you guys know about VitaSource when you're in your library of virtual books that you might have from AAPC or anybody. Let me see if I just need to log back in. I may have to. Nope, we're good. When you're doing these books, don't forget that this book will probably not the best one to use this for, but all the way over here in the far right hand corner, see what I'm showing you guys? Yeah, there's going to be 3 little dots over here in the very far right near the piece of paper with the star. If you click on those 3 little dots, it'll give you a drop down menu, and you can actually have the book read out to you, which sometimes can be helpful. If you want the book read out to you, it'll read you the study guide, especially. Boy, my voice is not going to last today. If you are doing any of the study guides, or if you want it to read you the E&M guidelines in the front of the CPT book, if they happen to give you an electronic version of the book, you can actually have it read out to you. If you want
Evaluation and Management, E/M, Services Guidelines.
Not going to have any human inflection in
it. Addition to the information presented in the introduction, several other items unique to this section are defined or identified here.
Dusting,
E/M Guidelines
kids are running
Overview.
around, you're cooking dinner.
The E/M Guidelines have sections that are common to all E/M categories and sections that are category specific.
I listen to audiobooks all
Most
the
of the
time.
categories and many.
So I like to listen to things over and over again, being read to me. So I don't know if that's helpful for you, but just another suggestion, just in case. When I was doing the workshop for Sunday, I utilized a couple of questions from the Bucks 2024 area. I'm not sure where I picked questions from, but a couple of them did have some deleted codes in them. So, a lot of times when you do purchase practice exam questions from other sites, a lot of times they just recycle the covers of these books, and they don't actually go through them and update the questions. They just update the cover to them every year. And a lot of the codes that are aired out or have been deleted since 2001. So, I can understand 1 or 2 years, but when it gets down to 3 or 4 years, the code has been deleted. It's kind of obvious that they're not changing the codes. I even used ahimas, the 2024, and again, some of the questions that I used from even the school that teaches medical coding, even their 2024 workbook had a lot of codes in it that had been deleted that I used during the workshop. It's after 4 years of doing workshops, I'm still trying to find practice exam questions that I haven't seen before or published or used in any of my lives that I can bring to you guys. So even using some of the school's stuff still runs into some of the questions being incorrect, because I like to do the workshops with you guys. And I know I'm creating the workshops, but I like to do them with you as if I was truly doing an exam without knowing what is going on ahead of time. And do it in real time with you guys so that you know exactly what would be going on in my head during a certification exam and what I would be thinking versus what you guys would be thinking during an exam. You guys are thinking about guidelines and what should be coded with what, and you're trying to prove to somebody that you're a really good coder. And what technically I'm looking for is, how do I find the correct answer the fastest and most efficient way possible? So this question was on the workshop Sunday, and it had all of the E&M codes were deleted. And I got this one from Ahima. It's a workbook from 2024. And it had, let me see, where's my workbook? It had codes. Which ones were they? It was, oh, I've already forgotten, moved. It was what was that? T17? T17. It had 99335 and 99334 on the workshop that we did on Sunday. So those codes are obviously deleted. I am pretty good, and I usually notice those things before a workshop, but I didn't notice that one. Those had been deleted codes because, you know, they're in the back of the E&M section. They're the domicile ones. We haven't used them in about 3 years, and I didn't notice that, remember that those had been deleted, but they've been converted to just the nursing ones, right? So I just, for tonight, I updated the question. I took out the part where the question had different levels for the history, the different levels for the exam, and just left alone the MDM total that they said that the question was. So I left that part the same. I changed the office visits and then changed the sentence here where it says that they did a different level history and a different level exam, because, you know, before 2001 we used to do different. Our 3 elements of MDM were history, exam, and then MDM, but now it's the 3 elements are the problem list, the data, and the risk, which in total gives us an MDM. So this being one of the questions from our workshop Sunday, I still think that the most fast and efficient way possible to do this exam is to first look at the very first code that's in every single answer. And that difference is an R or a T code, right? And if you look at your ICD-10 book, our R codes are symptoms and our T codes are injury codes. And just knowing those headers is super helpful. So we just need to know from the question, is this patient dealing with an injury that happened to them today? Or are we dealing with symptoms? And that will help out with answering this question. And we find that she choked today on some liquids, right? So would we be a symptom of choking, or would we be an M17? I still think that's super helpful in picking out the answer. And then, depending on which one of the codes is low on the E&M, are we a 308 or a 307? That is super helpful. What do you guys think is the answer now that I've updated the question? Hey, Samantha. She thinks it's an injury. I know I do need some hot tea. Yeah, probably do. I'm at work right now, so I'll be just listening today. No worries. Gotta earn that money to pay for those membership fees, right? On AAPC's website, I bet they're going to be over $300 for next year. And my dues are coming up pretty soon. The dues for just having the Wix website to hold all of our educator list, our FAQs, how to book the book prep and all that stuff that I have on my website, those dues came out yesterday and I totally forgot about it. And those were $750. Oh my gosh. So now I got a reminder in my calendar so that I remember that that's going to hit every year. And next year it'll probably be what, 800? Who knows? But just one of those things you got to keep up with when you sign up for owning a website. You've got all these annual dues that are due for that kind of stuff. Yeah, we'll have to go make some hot tea. I think it's true, yep. And we know that the 07 is straightforward. The 08 would be low. So definitely have to keep A or C. And then just knowing whether she's an injury code or an R code is super helpful. And then I changed the rationale for this one to show that all the differences. You can tell when I do an ahima question because they give you the answers for all the incorrect answers versus the wrong answers. And I'm pretty shocked, and that's why I didn't notice, is because when I pulled this question for our workshop on Sunday, I felt confident pulling it from ahima that there would be no error in it, you know, throwing it on there without really double checking in the workshop so that I could do it live with you guys. But it ended up having a lot of deleted E and M codes, which have not been there for 3 years. So I was pretty shocked. But, you know, editing practice questions is a full-time job. And now that I've been posting questions on my website, I've got people asking all the time about my questions. Why is this the correct answer? Are you sure? You know, and then I'm having to double check. And if I do find any errors, I have to correct them. So it's good that you guys are working through all the practice exam questions on my website to make sure that they're correct. I appreciate the help of auditing them because I can't, you know, when I create a question and it's answers and rationale, if I do make an error, I won't be able to see my own error because it's my own creation, right? I won't see the error. If I had worked up ahima's question and actually done it ahead of time before our workshop, of course I would have found the error before our workshop, but I threw it up there thinking, oh, this is a 2024 book. This will be good. No. This is another one, I think, that somebody had a question on, but I think it's correct. I put in the page number today so that you guys can find the answer, hoping that that will help out. If you go to CPT code 8799, they wanted to know if you know that CPT code descriptor says it is for an infectious agent drug. What disease would be relatable to an infectious agent? Would it be cancer, HIV, tuberculosis, or organ transplant? And somebody questioned this one. You guys work out this one. If you're in the 2024, that's the page number where that code is at. I promise it's on that page. It's just a little out of sequence. I'm going to go fix some hot tea. It won't take me just a second. I'll be right back. Sammy, you quit walking underneath my feet when I stand up, honey. You're going to trip me. tea. I got one of those like Brita things that heats up the hot water for you automatically in a dispenser sort of type thing. I don't know, but I never use it. But, woo, hot. Hot, hot, hot. Can you guys figure out what the answer is for this one? Just by 3? Sharon passed her exam on Tuesday, first attempt. Wow, very good. Thank you so much, Sharon, for coming in to say that you passed. Wonderful. That is exciting. Congratulations. Don't even have to take it the second time. How lucky. That is awesome. Anything on the exam that you were just shocked over that I've never said, or anything that you wish you'd have known? Congratulations. Thank you guys for the 7,000 taps on TikTok and the shares on TikTok. You guys are awesome. Taylor says she's been having a hard time just finding any of the job customer service, front desk, receptionist, or even entry level in my area. Be sure and check my blog on my website at Medical Coding by Jen Taylor. I've got several job postings on different, the latest one that I did is different names of jobs to go look for. And then I have other jobs of companies that are hiring, other blogs with the list of companies that are hiring. Maggie missed her exam just by 3 points. It's an excellent score. You're just 3 questions away from passing. So she's going to take her next attempt on 9/25. Yesterday we did a free live lesson, and during that lesson, 2 questions from the exam somebody said was on their exam this week was pointed out. So be sure to watch that. A gap in time where I haven't worked. Neck surgery. Trying to down this hot tea. Don't give up. That's right. I'll keep giving out free lessons. Everybody picked out an answer. What about you guys on TikTok? How are you guys doing? So if you're thinking about infections, you know cancer is not technically an infection, right? And you know organ transplant, not an infection, right? The only 2 that are infections are HIV and tuberculosis. And if you're looking for bioinformants and drug susceptibility, whatever, you're looking to see if a medication is going to work on a patient, right? That's where the HIV patient comes in with the antiviral. A clinician can use the information to help decide which drugs to prescribe. For example, a test can be used to predict if an antiviral drug is already resistant for that patient before starting in a patient experiencing any kind of failure during therapy. So that's how they came up with that B answer during our workshop on Sunday. Anyway, I added this additional information in here that was not there on Sunday, that AHIMA didn't have in their workbook of questions. So hopefully that helps. All right, to the new questions that I have for today. Remember, do not read the question. We're going to go straight to the different answers. We're going to go look up our differences. It could be the 24 and the 27. They're the closest, or the 08 and the 13. Let's go look up codes and see what's going on. 33224. What's going on here? Everybody got books? Oh, I got too many drinks on my desk. Oh my gosh. I got a root beer, a water, a lost and found drink. It's got a little cute bear on it. The people on TikTok can see it. It's too cute. And I got a cup of tea. And nowhere to put all these books. Okay. Even if you don't have notes in your cardiovascular section, when you're doing these questions, 33224 right here, look for your header first. Don't just look at this code and this code descriptor. That's not going to be helpful. What's going to be helpful is your header. Go find your header, which is pacemaker. Are we dealing with a pacemaker and a permanent pacemaker at that? That's helpful. Two, 33224 is dealing with a pacemaker. We do have that word here. So then I can go back and look at the pacemaker and see we're inserting an electrode. Is that what we did today? No, we replaced the chamber, right? So even without notes, you can do this if you remember to look at your headers, not just hyper focus on your CPT code descriptors. What's our 27? 27 is removal of a pulse generator. Which we might have done. Oh, after placing a lead? Maybe. And we upgraded the lead. We did upgrade a lead. So wait a minute before I get rid of that. Let me think. We did do a lead. What's included in that one? Do we have any mama codes around here? We did do a lead. And what else did we do? Including revision of the pocket and removal and insertion of placement of an existing generator. Ooh, the stuff that is inside the parentheses. All right, if I think that I'm at the 2.4, our 2.7 is just the generator with the pulse generator, no lead. A single lead system is involved, but no lead is removed or replaced there on the 27. Oops. 08 we know is a Isn't that a defibrillator? Isn't that under the header of defibrillator? 33208. 08 is a child code. Can't do nothing with that. You got to go see its mama. It's 06, which is a permanent pacemaker. It's dual lead. It is, but we're only inserting a new or a replacement, but it does not have the lead involved in it. And then the 33213 is existing dual lead. You can't do nothing with it because you got to go look at its mama, which is the 33212, which is an insert of just the pulse generator, which is the battery only. So this one is just a battery only. '08 is a pacemaker, but we would not separate out each little bitty like generator and the lead, all individual. You've got your 24, and your 24 are the same answer in two questions. They want to know if you know if they can trick you into coding every single individual part, or do you know that everything is included in your 24 for sure? I bet. Let me move my camera out of the way. You see how the 24 code is in two answers? They just want to know if you know if the generator, upgrading the pacer, and a lead, all three of those things are included in one code, or can they convince you to code three codes? And more than anything, they want to know who's not going to overcode. Yep. Get that off there so you guys on TikTok can see. Until they have the fill in the blank. Yep. And if you needed to do the fill in the blank, it's not that hard. We have an alphabetical index in the back of the CPT book. So all you would look up is what? Pacemaker? It's just like the ICD-10, but it's in the back of the book instead of the front of the book. Totally don't know where anything is back here because we don't use it very often. PACE, P-A-C, PACE, P-A-C, pacemaker, right here, pacemaker. What are we doing? We're not doing the device or evaluation. We are doing dual chamber, but we are doing leads. Oh, leads, insertion, electrode, right there. Gonna lead you down the road to looking at our 33202, 33203, probably are 16 and 17 and are 24 and 25. Yeah. We end up having to go look through 2 rows of codes, but they get you to the general direction by just looking up pacemaker in the alphabetical index in the back of the book. That starts, if you're in the 2024 book, on page 1081. It does describe the main terms and the code ranges and the convention of the index. If we do have fill-in-the-blank ones, I think it'll only be the 10 questions at the end that are cases, and I don't think it'll be no more than that, but that's just my opinion. I'm hoping that that stays true, because I think 10 questions at the end is a good indication and a good thing to do to see if you can medically code, because the exam has nothing to do with medical coding whatsoever as it is now. It's just whether you're a good exam taker or not. Because if you start using your coder brain for this exam, you're going to get things wrong, because you're going to look for things that they didn't even ask you for. All right. These one, we've got the 04, the 05, and the 06, so I'd go run there first. Let me make this bigger, because these look super small for me. There we go. There we go. All right, 36904. Oops. So what header are we under? We're under dialysis circuits. What did we do today? Thromboectomy. What are our differences? 04 is percutaneous. 05 includes a balloon. 06 includes a stent. The cheapest one in the set, of course, is A. If I was doing any of the process of elimination, looking for my cheapest procedure, what do you guys think is the answer? You can put it in chat. Let me see, did she say anything about what she saw in the exam? Stephen, I take my exam for the temp on Monday. I just subscribed to your channel a week ago. Your teaching has helped prepare me tremendously. Awesome, Stephen. Keep practicing those practice questions that are on my website. I hope they help out a ton. I would say that multiple different things help me pass from Jen's material, the practice exams, through AAPC, through pocket prep, and studying with classmates. Awesome, Taylor. You think you just did this one on Practicode? I found a download of a bunch of cases from Practicode that I downloaded recently. I haven't had a chance to look at them yet. I know somebody that took Practicode and they sent me all the examples years ago, but still haven't had a chance to look at them. One of these days I'd love to help you guys work through the cases, but I understand that a lot of the answers are wrong, so I'm not looking forward to that. I'm not sure how helpful that's going to be, is to know you're correct and then you put that in and then it's not going to work. I don't know. Just getting to where you get 80% of the answers correct is where you want to be, and move on, for sure. Arteriovenous fistula. They have over here on the previous page, the arteriovenous is on page 310 with the descriptor of the procedure and what's going on is on 310. And there's the arteriovenous fistula right there. On 311. Sometimes they have this stuff described in other areas. It's just infuriating. All the ad got you? Oh no. Page 311 and 310 describe the arteriovenous fistula. That's where the anatomy pictures are at, in case you missed that. This one is A. Good job. Perfect. Lab and path. Oh my. Looking at these, I think the 60 and the 63 are the closest together numerically. So I'm going to run to those two codes. 88360. Where are we going to be? 88360. My differences between my 60 and my 63. Molecular analysis. Versus a stain. Well, a morphometric analysis too. One of the key differences is that the 63 has a previous diagnosed tissue caveat in it. So when you look through the exam question, if you see that this is a re-evaluation of the patient, if they've already been diagnosed some time ago, then you might be in the 63. Knowing those differences ahead of time before you get to this area is super helpful. This is surgical pathology. If you go to look at the 81275, let's say you don't know where you're at and if you should be here, and you want to know why the 81275 or 814 might not be correct. It is super helpful when you're doing any practice exam questions, not just figuring out why the right answer is right, but go look at the wrong answers. Find out what exactly in the book tells you that you are in the wrong section, or you're doing be the wrong answer. That is super valuable, even for the pocket prep questions, any type of practice questions that you're working at. So 41404 is a molecular pathology. It's doing DNA sequencing. 41275. Is a gene analysis. So we've got gene, DNA, and then our 60 and 63. Thanks for sharing the live, guys. I enjoy learning from you, but it's difficult to understand without any knowledge. Yeah, it is, Elizabeth. I am just about to start my ICD-10 class after I just finished my intro into reimbursement. Awesome. Reimbursement's crazy, isn't it? I am 2 courses away from completing my associates. Wonderful, Maggie. But, she said, I'm waiting on her but. Do you have any introductions into understanding the books? I do. In the YouTube channel, I have a podcast where I'm reading the guidelines out to you from the ICD-10 and the E&M section. I read a couple of sentences and then tell you what I think about them and what's going on in them. There's also a series of E&M videos where there's 5 of them. Back to basics. What is E&M? Is the name of the series. Also, utilizing the books and knowing how to use them is super helpful. I have a couple of videos where I talk about going to the beginning of the book and reading the page. Each of the books have a page in them that says how you use the book. Instructions for using the CPT book. It even tells you about the format, the technology, and the terminology used in the CPT book. If you have not gone to the very front of each one of these books, they tell you why certain things have an indentation, why things don't, why things might have a semicolon, why they don't, what their brackets mean, what a period means, what a big circle means. It's a really good read. But a lot of people don't even read the instructions on how to use the books. they go straight to the CPT codes and the individual descriptors without knowing how to even utilize the book. So that is super helpful. Even the alphabetical index in the back of the CPT book has instructions on how to utilize it. Super helpful. All you got to do is match your word for the KRAS analysis, and that is inside your same descriptor for your 88363. Just a word match on that one. Musculoskeletal. Are we a 22914? Let's run up there and see what's going on. 299. Are we still in musculoskeletal? I think so. 29914. 299, 82, and 83 were on somebody's exam recently. All right. These are out of sequence. You can find them on page 204. (14), 15, and 16 are all children code. You got to go look up Mama, which is 29861. Did we do a scope? Let's check it out. We do have a scope that was used, so you're at least in the right header, right? Are we doing a femoral, ACE, or lab repair? What did they do? I see the word ACE. I also see the labrum mentioned too. We did the labrum repair. And the only one with the labrum repair noted is R16, right? McNair says D. 29861. Wow. 29861. What's going on with that one? I didn't even look that one up. 61. That's just the Mama code, which is a loose body or foreign body removed. It wouldn't be a foreign body removed if it says we did do the labrum repair. We do have a CPT code for labrum repair, which is your C. Make sense? Huh, no worries. Just making sure. This one is Mama, but she's just a foreign body. Yeah. And 14 is femoral repair, 16 is labrum, and 15 is the ACE. And they almost, they have the ACE mentioned, so it's kind of tricky, got to be careful. All they did was elevate it to prepare for the labium repair. So they mentioned it here hoping that you would think that, and they also mentioned it again here about anchoring some of the repair stuff near that or on that, but they never did do the aapc, which was repairing it, fixing it. Yeah. The repair happened to the labium. This one, the answer ended up being the most, I don't know if you call it the most expensive repair, but it definitely wasn't the smallest of the numbers. It was the biggest of the numbers, which is usually unique for AAPC. All right, what do we got here? We've got 3 of them that are in the 432 area. So if I'm looking at this, I see that we've got 1, 2, 3 of them all under this 432 area. I'd go to the first one in numerical order, which is the 43235, just to see if I'm underneath this header. 432. If you guys are still working out of the 2023 CPT book, be sure you add in the new hernia codes at the very end of this chapter, because they all updated in 2024. So if you fix those, you'll be good for the exam if you're still using a 2023 book. 432. Already forgot what I was looking for. 35. Okay. What's our differences? Are we doing an EGD? Is that where we're at? What did we do today? If I was doing the process of elimination, looking for similarities, I noticed that the 43249 is in 2 answers. They just want to know if we should combine it with something else or should it be coded by itself. So I would probably just pick A and not look up anything in the question or the answer and just move on to my next question. But if you guys want to verify you're in the right area. This one's doing washing. The 49 is doing a balloon. '81 is under a completely different header. Which is a laryngoscope. We did an endoscope. So definitely not the correct type of scope. Oh no, I gotta go live again. Let's try that again on TikTok. Let's see if that's helpful. There we go, guys. Our 81 is a L scope, but we did not do that. So we know we can get rid of that. 3195 is not under an EGD, it's under an esophoscope. ESO, not an ENDO, ESO scope, not an endoscope. 3195. If we look at this mama esophoscope, that's the 91. It's rigid. Definitely used our balloon matches with our 49. What do you guys think? Yep, definitely our 49. Trying to make sure this live is still going good. There we go. I don't know why it booted off of TikTok, but there we go. We got it back up again. Indeed. Ooh, Pipix. Different book entirely. Are we an L67 13 14 or an L67 21 22? I would just look these up 2 at a time, see which one we would be under. It says don't use, yep, you got to look at your parentheticals. Yep, it says don't use them together. They're just checking to verify that you guys understand and know how to use the book to get rid of bad answers when the parentheticals tell you not to do it. Indeed. Sorry, just checking to see if my mom messaged me. Somebody messaged me, but I'm not sure if that's her or spam. Not sure. Okay. What do you guys think is the answer for this one? Let's give away some YouTube memberships. Somebody's exam is Monday. Maybe you will win and you can spend all weekend watching all of my workshop videos. Practicing multiple practice questions is beneficial right for your exam. Kim, Brittany, Parsons, Sarah, Preet. I hope you guys enjoy those YouTube memberships. I hope it helps out a ton. Patrice says the answer is D. Patrice is correct. Good job. When are you taking your exam again? I'm trying to plan a small class where I get a bunch of you guys that haven't passed yet and y'all have had multiple attempts, and see what we can do about getting together on certain days. Do a Zoom lesson or something. Let's see. We've got 3 answers with the 405 listed down. So if we get rid of C because it's abnormal, we would move on to our differences between A, B, and D. A and B have the same answer, so I would get rid of D because it's abnormal, right? Then my only difference between A and B is, are we a 500 or are we a 508? Or would we start off our diagnosing with 106 versus an I35? I don't know why I'm saying it's a 1, but it's an I. I06 versus an I35. In general, in the ICD-10 book, hypertension leads to significant heart disease and leads to other heart disease. Usually hypertension goes first. Let's see. What did we get? The post-operative diagnosis was aortic stenosis, then coronary artery disease, then hypertension was third, and diabetes was fourth. So, yep, we're going to keep that. We're going to keep that. Which one is critical arthrosclerosis, and where does coronary artery disease go into effect? I don't ever remember an I06. When I think of coronary artery disease, isn't that 125 or I25? I know that's familiar to me, but I don't know of an I06. So that looks abnormal. I35, I have no idea what that is, but maybe that's our stenosis. But we use coronary artery disease all the time in practice exam questions. You'll see I25 all over the place. So no matter what, I know our I25 is definitely going to be there. So the only thing that we could look up, and you don't have to look up both of them, you could do your differences between the I06 and the I35, or if you're more comfortable with CPTs, you could look up the differences between the 33508 and the 35500. The cheaper of the two procedures is going to be B because it's numerically smaller than A. But either one of those paths will get you to the right answer. What do you guys think? Only looking on these big cases at your preoperative, postoperative, and operation is most of the time all you need. You don't really have to dive into the meat of the course of the surgery unless you're doing COC exam. Sometimes they'll list the operation in the COC exam as this, but what you see in the note is what they did. Instead of saying they did an aortic valve replacement and a coronary bypass with a graft ×2, you'll see in here that they ended up only doing maybe 1 graft, or they did 3 grafts. Sometimes they change it and then they forget to change the operation header, and it'll be listed down here in the surgery that they did 3 grafts instead of 2, and that'll be the differences in your answers, is whether you did 2 or 3 grafts. They want to know if you know during a COC exam if you can tell the differences between what's written up here in the op note versus what's written in the surgical note. But CPC and ahima, they don't do that. The answer is usually always right here. What do you guys think is the answer? You're lost on this one. Sorry, Sam. So what's our difference? 33508 is what? Let's look at the CPT code. So 33508. That's an add-on code for an endoscope. It's for veins and arteries. 35500. Is also an add-on code of the upper extremity, artery, vein. What's my differences? One of them is a scopy and one of them is harvesting. Irrigated, did well. None of that's helpful. Pacing wires. Did we do, when we did the scope, where is our scope? Gonna be right in here. Yeah. We use video assisted somewhere. I'm just trying to find it. Trocar cameras. Sometimes if you see the words Trocar cameras, do you guys see it? It's the video assessment, video assessing. I know it's in here, but let me check chat, see if you guys found it. You thought you saw the vein harvesting? Yeah. 2 vessel. Oops. That's the indications. It'll probably be the wrong thing. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Guys are right. It's right here somewhere. Procedure brought into the table. I keep seeing it and then I lose it. It'll say, yeah, we harvested a vein and we proceeded with the endoscopy. We canalized. Yeah, right there. One little old word. When they said, and that means that we did the video assisted, which is your differences between your 33508. The 08 uses the scope, and then the 35500 Nope. And there are parentheticals too that say if you're harvesting more than one, or if you used an endoscope procedure underneath your 35500, it says if you used an endoscope that you have to go to 33508. Underneath the 35500, they want to know if you guys know about that parenthetical that's underneath there, the 33508, it says. But the easier one is probably to do the differences between those two ICD-10s. So if we go to I06, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, I06, ooh, all my hypertension notes. Alright, if we go to our I06, we see we're under rheumatic aortic valve disease. If we go to our I35, I35 is non-rheumatic aortic disorders. And you look through here, what is excluded or included is super helpful. Stenosis is listed right there underneath non-rheumatic aortic valve for our 35.01. I06.0 is rheumatic aortic. And of course they don't say anything about this being rheumatic. They just say it's critical. I just wanted to know if you guys know the differences. These pictures that are on, if you're in the AAPC 2024 version of the ICD-10 book, page 693 is an important page on the exam. It's the differences between inflammation of the heart, a thickening of the heart, which is the hypertrophic, or a dilated cardiomegaly. Sometimes they ask a question And this picture helps out a lot on the exam if you know where that picture is for cardiomegaly. So, in case you got totally lost on this question, what I did was, all I did was use the process of looking for similarities in this question. We have 3 answers that all start off with the very first same answer. So that made me eliminate C right off the bat. Then I went and looked only at the second code. And because A and B were the same, but D was different, that made me eliminate D. Then my only difference was these 2 things. The 08 is a scope, and the 00 is not, but also the 00 has a parenthetical underneath it that says if you used a scope, then you have to go to the 08. So I had to look through this lovely note for the word scope to see if we could find it. It can be difficult. So that could be part of the challenge. If that becomes too difficult and you don't know if you can find it or not, that's why I went to my differences between the diagnosis codes, because the only difference between A and B is whether we did an I-06 or an I-35, which those differences are whether we were rheumatic stenosis or non-rheumatic. And you just needed to know that critical stenosis was not rheumatic. Big old case, huh? But B is your answer. And there's probably fancy rationale that goes with this to tell you why every single one of the answers is correct. Hopefully that's helpful. I just love listening to the sweet lady's voice while I work. Aw, you guys are awesome. I hope that's helpful. Just don't stress over these things. If you run into a wall, switch tactics and go somewhere else. This one, we've got 2 diagnoses, they're symptoms, and 2 that are what, kidneys? Whatever is going on, usually sometimes it's in the kidneys if it starts with an N. So that might be helpful in this question. If it's not, we do have 3 answers that all start out with the 591 CPT code. 2 of them are the exact same, the 90, so it's probably just a difference between that one CPT code, and then they want to know, would we code a symptom or would we code a diagnosis? We'll end up back here at the diagnoses no matter what we do, probably. What do you guys think is the answer to this one? Patient has been incontinent for several years. They're doing a scope to do a urethral suspension. What would be the diagnosis and the procedure code? No worries, McNair. I hope this was helpful. What time is it getting to be? I gotta go get Travi pretty soon. I'm only gonna be on for 15 more minutes anyway. But you can always come back and watch the replay in your own time. They're always here available for you guys. If I didn't get to your question or answer, be sure and let me know. Retype them in chat. When I come back through, check in chat. I'll see them. Thanks for all the taps, likes, loves, shares. Thank you for the 18 likes on the YouTube channel. Thanks for all the taps and shares of the TikTok live. helping to get out the content now that I rely on you guys as support for work. Super helpful for me, keeps me motivated. You know that the N39 is UTI. Doctor's office work, yep. So if they've been under urinary stress incontinence for years, they're probably in the N section, right? They've got a diagnosis. We know what's wrong with them. We're going in to fix it, right? We're not going in because we don't know what's wrong with them and we're just scoping them, right? We actually have a procedure we're going to do, so that also lends help. It is A is our answer. How do you book a call with me? All right. Where are we at? If you are, get back over here on the internet, and you're on my website at medicalcodingbyjen.com, let me get right here to my main website. Don't forget, guys, that if you want to do pocket prep, click on our little lovely link right here. It'll take you straight to pocket prep, and click on medical, and then click the very top link, which is AAPC CPC. They have 750 practice exam questions with a pass guarantee for the AAPC certification exam, and you can get access to all those practice exam questions for, you know, as little as $13 a month. Super helpful. They even have page numbers where the answers are. So love it. That's also on my website. But to book a call with me, all you got to do is come over here to tutoring and workshops tab right there on my website, and right here I've got a one-on-one with practice questions. So if you want to book an hour with me and you want me to prep a bunch of questions on the particular issue that you're having, like E&M, lab and path, and cardiovascular, give me 3 sections. I can't do more than that in an hour, but I'll prep a bunch of questions in those areas, and you can book right there. If you just want a conversation with me without any book prep, and you just want to talk to me for an hour and get some advice, that's the bottom one down here. And both of them are requests to book me. So what you'll do is click the request. You'll pick out a date that I just blindly have available. Just hit check next availability. All the dates with the dots have availability, but just pick the next available date and hit request. Even if that date and time are not good for you, it doesn't matter. And I got this stupid form that comes up, and, you know, putting your phone number or whatever, putting your whatever, where you get the add message right there. Be sure and just type in, hey, I want this date, I want this time, and I want you to go over this. In any of these boxes, just fill out and let me know what you want to talk about and what date and time. And then I can switch the date and times. You guys know when I go live. You guys know when I'm going to go get Travis, stuff like that every day. So y'all know my schedule. Just work around that, and when you guys can meet, tell me here where you want me to move you, and I'll get that booked. And hit the submit request. That will hold you a spot, and then when I approve it and move you into a correct time and space, even if that one's correct, tell me it's correct. You really want to do the 10:30 on Tuesday, then great, that's perfect. Let me know that's perfect. Then it'll generate an invoice to you and send you the invoice for the $40 or whatever after I book it and I approve it. If those invoices aren't paid by the night before, when I start prepping your questions and stuff like that, I'll cancel it and open that up for people that still want to book. So that's what happens. So be sure to look for an invoice if you don't want to be canceled. But that's what happens. Because if I just leave it to where everybody can just book, then people will book the entire month, 5 or 6 sessions, and then nobody else will get a chance to get in there. So I can't do this Friday because we got a ton of stuff going on, but I don't think that's even available. But today I had one that I had to cancel because I sent them like 3 invoices and they never did pay. So I canceled it because I couldn't prep any questions last night. So I wasn't sure if they still wanted it, or some people book them and then they decide they don't want it. So that's fine. That's perfectly fine. I can cancel anytime. No big deal. Stuff comes up, cars break. They can't do it no matter, that's fine. I'll just cancel them and then move on and let somebody else book. But that's how I've got it set up, so that we can give everybody at least a chance to do at least one call with me, whenever. But I'm super flexible. I can do any days, dimes, when I'm not live with you guys. So we'll work it out. Don't forget about the resources tab here, guys. Under the CPT book prep page, you've got free resources. There's 8 pictures here. Tells you how to make your own notes. Just click on the picture. It'll show you what I do, how I find my notes, how I make them. Even for the ICD-10 book, it's all here. Super helpful. There's other helpful information down here about like, what is a parent code? She's always saying mama code. What the heck does she mean? I've got a 1-sheeter here. How do you code twin deliveries? There's all kinds of cool stuff down here that is super helpful for you. There's also videos, like book prep videos that are completely free. The rest of them are on my YouTube membership, so it's $5 if you want to see any other ones. But I do have Digestion Center here if you want to watch me do my digestive notes. Code by code, they're here. Most of the chapter, not all of it, but most of it. Super helpful. There's a ton of free resources in the FAQs. The blog, super helpful. I've got tons of job resources for you guys here. Our Discord study group is really, really helpful for you. Each one of these blogs that I wrote or either have practice exam questions like E&M questions in them, or ophthalmology or spinal surgery practice exam questions, or they're listing out companies that are currently hiring, or what do you type in the search function to look for a coding job right now. All my advice is right here for free for you guys. Also, if you go under the social media tab, that's how you join our Discord study group. This big link right here where it says join now, if you click on that bubble that says join now, that is where you get tossed into our study group. And it is super helpful. We even have people that are selling their old books. They may even have some of my notes in them. Good gracious. Not that anybody's supposed to be selling my notes, but I'll look the other way. If you've already written them all in your books and you've already passed and you don't need the books anymore and you want to pass them on to somebody else, only do that in my study group. That way you don't get scammed. Also, we've got a job resource, 2 rooms inside there, about what if a job is asking you to do a medical coding exam. I've got one room where we're posting all the exams in that room, and it's totally free, and one room where we're posting all the new job openings too, in case I haven't written a blog about it. If I see something today and I want to just quickly post it somewhere, then I'll post it in our Discord study group, and then I'll gather up all that information later on in the month and maybe write a blog on it. So that is super helpful. So be sure and check out all the website. You can use the website with the Android or cell phone device, or you can do my website with on desktop too. So both versions work great. I told you guys we switched our cell phone service over to Mint, which is super cool because I've been a loyal Verizon member for a decade, and the bill just got outrageous for 2 lines, $240 a month. So now I'm on Mint, and they gave me a link that I can help advertise their company because they don't pay for any advertisement. They only allow like 1% of people to have a bonus link with them, so pretty cool. I do have a link there, and I actually really did leave Verizon, and I'm on Mint. This is my first month, and we did pay $15 for the next 3 months, and it's great. I haven't had any trouble. I still have unlimited texting. I still have a hotspot. Haven't had any trouble getting hold of Travis or anything like that, so it's been great. Love it, love it, love it. Had to reduce bills somewhere since I quit my job. I have a practice question area that's totally free here on the website too, with a bunch of practice questions. Just click on the answer and the rationale will come up. I have some flashcards here and PDF that you guys can just download on the heart. Super cool. It does fill in the blanks too for you. So I really like the PDF here. Super cool. And help you about the circulatory. I know there is a question on the exam that is on this PowerPoint presentation actually. Yep. So all free for you guys. If you want to know what pens do I use, what do I use to carry my books in, how do I keep them from unraveling, just go over here to the shared gallery page. This is a bunch of pictures of all my favorites stuff. How many courses I've taken for you guys. I'm working my way and buying every single one of AAPC's courses and going through them and passing, of course, and working through the courses to see what else I can help you guys with. How do you keep your books from unraveling? What pens do I use to make my notes? All that good stuff is all right here. How do I get rid of my apprenticeship? How do I get an extra hour to take my exam? They're all examples, are all right here. So super helpful. I hope. And I just renewed the membership of this website for a whole nother year. So we're good to go there. Where am I at on the practice exam questions for tonight? Let's see, we got that one done. We're going to do another live on Saturday. So because I can't be here tomorrow night, we've got court at 1 o'clock. We've got a football game at 3 o'clock. And we're down a car. So hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully we'll make it to everything. We've got either the question starts out with a 20 code or a 22. So the first thing I would do is run to each one of those two radiology codes and see what my differences are between those two codes, and only look for those differences. We'll finish this last question up and then we'll be done for the day. I gotta go get Travi from cheer. Actually bring home 3 kids. We go drop off his best friend, and then we go drop off another one. So I bring home 3 kids from cheer practice. So a lot of parents work, and it's really hard for them to pick them up at this time. 7, 5, 8, 20, and 22. What are our differences? Unilateral or bilateral? What did we do today? Oh, I made it too big. What do you guys think? did we do unilateral or bilateral? You got Verizon 3 lines internet and you pay $255. Oof. Yeah, we had 2 lines, but I had Disney Plus on it. The Disney Plus / Hulu, and then the warranties on the phones. So that's why the 2 lines was $255. But now I'm only paying $15 a month. And I've got unlimited everything. It's great. It's nice. My internet, I've got 2 internet providers at my house because I work from home since 2013. So we have Sudden Link, which I call Sudden Drop, but it's like an internet provider through coax cable, right? And then I have a second service from a different company, which is fiber optics, which just got to our town. And I purchased another account. That way, when one internet goes down, I've got another one to back me up and keep me on. Because there's nothing more frustrating than it rains or the wind or, you know, who knows, somebody hits a light pole. That always happened with my Sudden Drop. If they hit an electricity pole around here, then the internet goes down. So the fiber optics has been great. It's only been down 1 time this year, but I ended up having the DSL 1 version. So we pay quite a bit. We pay $99 per service per company to have internet here at the house. But so there's $200 just for internet at this house. But it's just what I had to have. Working remote from home, you can't have just like Wi-Fi from like Starbucks or something. You can't work on the Wi-Fi internet because you have to have a direct Ethernet cable when you work online with patient medical records. I don't know of any company that actually allows you to work Wi-Fi because of the security risk. It could be hacked. So you've got to have direct internet. So if you're going to work remotely and you're traveling, Starlink is the only one that I know of that works where you can directly, securely work remotely. And still that's going to cost you probably $145 a month if you're going to do traveling internet work. So the sooner you get the service, the better with Starlink, because the fees go up for new customers as the years go by. So just so you know. I have lots of stuff for COC certification. On my YouTube channel, you can sort my videos by the playlist and look for just COC videos. My CPT book is a mess. Mine is too, Lord. I got whiteout all over mine. Mine wouldn't be legal for a certification exam right now at this particular second, so. But anyway. I've been super happy with the Mint. I was really scared to switch from Verizon, but I just can't take another $200 a month bill. It's crazy. Yeah. And it uses the same towers as Verizon, so it's like no issues at all. We are unilateral, right? So you know we are going to stay with our 20s. How I know that? We got left arm. Right? We didn't do right arm and left arm. We only did one. Then it's just a difference. Either you can look up your differences between your 36215 or your 36005, or just the differences between the two diagnoses. Now, if you're looking for my process of looking for similarities and irregularities, you notice that one of them has a diagnosis code that's in one of your throwaways. That usually indicates to me what the correct answer is, which is C. Yep, C is correct. We will be back on Saturday night. We'll do even more practice exam questions. I've got some already written in more nervous system, some of the spinal ones. I've got some anatomy ones coming up. Not too many. I only have like 7 more questions prepped, so I got to prep some more. So you guys, please comment in any of my videos, either here on TikTok or YouTube. Any of the videos, let me know, because I see the comments. So if somebody does a new comment, even if it's on an old video, they pop up right away. And let me know what kind of questions you want to go over during Saturday's live. We will do 4 o'clock, same time as today. I've already got the link up on the YouTube channel so that you guys can hit the notify me button so it'll ding and remind you on your phone or whatever to let you know that we're going live. Just let me know what you would like to go over. If you'd like to do more lab and path or more E&M, let me know. Happy to create whatever you guys want. How do I know it's unilateral? Because you only went in on the left arm, right? We did not do anything on the right arm, right? We didn't do the venogram on both arms. Now, of course, once we got into a vein, we may have looked through a couple of veins once we're in there, but that doesn't mean bilateral. Your arm individually is not bilateral, right? To be bilateral, we would have had to have gone into the right arm too to make it bilateral. Does that help? You have mint and you love it too? That was May on TikTok. That's awesome. I'm so glad you love it. I had a bit of trouble. Let's see. E&M for sure. Thank you guys so much for all the taps, all the love, all the shares. Y'all were quiet today. I hope this was helpful. I hope the questions were helpful. Be sure and let me know in chat what you would love to see on Saturday, and I will get those prepped for you. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you guys, love you guys, and I hope this makes a difference in your life for the better, that we can get you into a medical field position to make your life a whole lot better. I just want to make a difference. Thanks, Go Card. You're welcome, Jam. I hope this was helpful. I will see you guys on Saturday. Thanks, Steph.